Jurassic Park is the most quoted movie on this podcast, hands down.
It gave me hemorrhoids.
Hello and welcome to the Netflix Explorers podcast. The podcast kind of like finding a tramp at a Mormon picnic. From the 1890 studios, my name's Dale.
And thank you for joining us. This episode is brought to you by the 2017 World Championship Can Jam Tournament. This is Adam. And this is Patrick from the 1890, trying to think of something to say. This is Patrick.
Today we're going over Following, It Follows, and The Place Beyond the Pines. Please stick around. Good exit out of that intro. Now there's some guys giggling on the mic, and it's not just Adam, it's not just Patrick. Right across from us, there's Tom. What's going on, Tom? Hello. Oh, wrong. That was almost right on pitch, man.
Thank you very much.
What's going on, dude? Glad to have you.
Oh, glad you brought me back.
Oh, always a pleasure. What's going on? You feeling good? You ready to podcast?
Oh yeah,
it's been a while since you've been here.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. I'm excited to go.
You're itching for the cast.
Oh yeah.
Now there's somebody else here on the mic who hasn't been back since, a couple months. You were on podcast, what, number 3, number 4,
yeah,
number 2?
It was early in the goings.
Man.
We didn't know what we were doing.
That of course,
mic
is
up and
Neil Patrick Murphy.
That's right.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Glad I could take time out of my busy schedule of rubbing feces all over myself each day to come here and help out. So
it's good to have you. We're gonna go ahead and cut that short. Patrick, Adam, I already introduced you guys, but Patrick, how you doing, man?
Still trying to think of something to say for the intro. This is Neil? No. Damn it.
Yeah, no,
That's close.
You're close. Maybe next podcast you'll get it. And Adam, you're good sitting across from you, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. All's good.
Oh, good.
I feel good back. I'm glad Neil's back. Our third podcast was with Neil.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the better ones, I think, when I look back on our life.
Was that? Yeah, it was. I think that one, actually, Neil has the most listens. So
really?
Yeah.
It's not. No. Oh, man, I found a new job, and I don't know, man. I'm going to need more. I'm going to actually need to start drinking alcohol again.
Well, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Let's see. First one up, guys, is we're doing Following. That's the first one up. That is a, what do we got here?
Christopher Nolan's first film.
1998. Christopher Nolan's first film. It's got 7.6 on IMDb. That's strange. But either way, let's watch the trailer.
Your eyes drift across a crowd of people, and they slowly stop and fix on one person, and all of a sudden that person isn't part of the crowd anymore. They become an individual.
So we got a black and white. We got 4:3 ratio.
Irresistible.
So you followed women?
I followed anybody. I just
Black and
wanted
white
to see
handheld.
where they went, what they did. It was supposed to just
What'd you
be
think about that,
completely
Dan?
random.
Hey, man.
Never follow the
It's
same
a student
person
film.
twice.
I mean, not a
That's the
student
most
film, but it
important
is his
rule. That was
first.
the one that I broke
Was this
first.
made
That's when the trouble
while he was in school?
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so.
Okay.
It was made on the weekends.
What is this shot on, Neil? What type of film? Is this 16?
I think it's 16 millimeter.
Okay.
I think it's black and white 16 millimeter.
So that's kind of what we're watching. Again, you'd call it a student film, I guess.
It's definitely you.
Yeah.
So our main character runs into whatever. I can't even describe what's happening in the trailer.
Yeah. You know,
Smart and sophisticated.
people are doing shady things. Shady people are looking shady. People are kissing people they shouldn't be kissing. You know, that's the kind of stuff you got going on.
Startlingly original.
That's it. I mean, if you've got any questions, then.
One or two?
Following. Film
That guy he's talking to is his uncle in real life, Christopher Nolan's uncle, who's in all of his movies at some point.
No kidding. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Nice. All right. We got that. Following 1998. Now, Neil, Neil, you're a Nolan man.
I enjoy Nolan, yeah. Yeah, I like
Patrick,
especially
you're a
around
Nolan man.
Prestige and
Dunkirk? How do you feel about Dunkirk?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was the greatest movie ever, but
I like Prestige. Prestige is still my favorite Nolan movie to
Okay.
date, and it probably will always be now.
Yeah.
Over the Dark Knight, surprisingly.
That is surprising.
For this movie, I thought, it was it's the one movie we'll talk about tonight that I have probably the least amount. Like, I didn't get a chance to watch all of these, so like recently, I've seen them all. So it's the one movie that I have the least to say about in terms of like remembering. But from what I remember, I can just remember what I felt about it.
Sure.
That it was an interesting start to his career. It definitely wasn't a movie that I wanted to like revisit.
Oh, well, we'll catch
Like-
on rewatchability later on.
You know, but
Tom,
yeah.
you got the synopsis right there? Can you read Following? What's this all about?
This film's concept derives from a reoccurring nightmare the director used to have. Where
I would maybe do
That
the
is-
other Following movie. Not
Oh,
It
you mean the
Following.
following?
Yes.
Oh,
Not the one with Kevin Bacon.
I can try that. A young writer who follows strangers from material.
Let's start that from the top.
A young writer who follows strangers for material meets and thieves who take him under his wing.
That's the fun. Patrick does this to you. You gotta watch out. You gotta.
I mean, isn't it straight
No,
from
the sentence
IMDb?
makes no sense.
Yeah.
There needs to be
I
at least
just-
a comma. At least.
Right, somewhere a semicolon. do
Somewhere in there.
My keyboard can't do the Oxford commas, so I just screw it.
No Oxford, no commas for you.
Just read it without punctuation, my friend.
Adam, do you watch this one or no?
Yeah, I watched this one.
What do you think about this one?
I thought it was cool.
You went in with Christopher Nolan in mind. I didn't know this till like halfway through because I had to Google the movie
Yeah,
or IMDb it up.
that's what brought me to it in the first place. I was like, Christopher Nolan's first film, 1998, all black and white. I was kind of like, this is something to explore.
Mm-hmm.
And-
Yeah, hey.
hey,
Right.
So I was like, I want to explore this movie and check it out, and it was pretty cool. It was different. You had to pay a lot of attention to it.
Right.
I found myself having to rewind a lot of parts to like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. Sure. Get your head back in it. What do you think, Patrick?
Dale, did this meet your film noir
You know
benchmark?
what? I know it was trying to be film noir, like a neo noir, but the fact that now this, I'm not spoiling anything by saying this was all chopped up. Was it all in reverse?
The timing was all different.
Timing was all
The
different.
chronological order plays.
That's a
with
very
you.
Nolan
Yeah.
thing.
It threw me. It threw me off, and I really lost interest in that. But anyway, going back to noir, it had that feel to it, and so I would put it in the neo noir because that needs, new noir. You don't need. It has no structure anymore.
Yeah, because after watching that great movie American Side,
Yeah,
I figured
What a great
that was
film.
that was my benchmark for like film noir. So
you got to watch Brick.
You know
gotta
what's
watch Brick.
interesting about noir is noir is not a genre really. Noir is it's an era.
right?
There was an era of noir films.
1946
Yeah,
started.
and now like the neo noir is kind of like some like
Yeah,
just, like newer.
I looked this up because I knew this question was going to come up, Patrick. This is the research I do for the podcast. But like neo-noir, which is what they call this, can be anything you want. Any character in Strife. It doesn't have to be a style or an era. Neo-noir is just, you could just call it that. In fact, a lot of directors are like, don't call my movie neo-noir because that's just such a messy genre that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But either way, so does it follow it? I mean, I guess it's got the same feel at points, but to me, it's not. I'm on board.
Now, I'm kind of glad I didn't watch this one because listening to you guys and looking at the trailer and everything, I have no idea what this movie's about still.
Yeah. Well, basically, I mean, this guy, from the parts I actually tuned into, this guy he follows people for fun.
yeah. So from what I took away from it is he's a writer and he was like bored with his life, so he kind of just started like walking in crowds, and they would fixate on one person. And
Okay.
then he's like, I'm going to follow this person, see what they do, see where they go, blah, 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 blah. And then he has a couple of rules that he goes along with. And then, I don't want to say all hell breaks loose, but kind of a...
I don't want to be that cliche.
yeah, but so he meets a guy, and a guy does a thing, and then it kind of takes off from there.
Okay. So
Yeah, so you didn't miss much.
okay. I'm kind of glad.
Now, wait, go ahead, Patrick, and then I want Neil to go on to he's got his feels.
What's really nice about this movie is that it's only 69 minutes, 70 minutes,
way under.
Real short,
Real
it's
easy.
long.
That's Patrick.
It's right where you would want it. So if you didn't want to get it, you didn't waste too much
It's
time.
only
not
40. It's
getting
only
it.
47 minutes. Everybody come on in. You'll be done by. It's a lunch break.
I knew I can get you guys to watch anything if it was 110 minutes. It doesn't matter what it is. I know I can get that on the dock and get that watched.
But Neil, you talked about earlier. You don't remember the story so much, but you remember how you feel.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Like Nolan?
Just like how I felt about the movie in general. Like I was intrigued by it. I have a feeling Nolan did this where he followed people around when he was trying to figure out like his writing and stuff. Because I've done that. That's something I've read about doing is following and listening to people. I remember one time I went to like Target or something, and my whole point of being there was just listen in on people's conversations they were having and like try and like use it for writing. And I remember one where there was like lady with her kids and they were throwing DVDs and like they're like the $5 DVDs. He's like, hey, do you think we could get this? I forget how I wish I'd written it down, but she said something about like along the lines of, he's like, do you think that we could get this? The husband, whatever. She's like, I think it's enough. And the way she had said it was perfect. It was like her saying, "Fuck you, we're getting the fuck out of here with your goddamn DVDs, you little brats." So yeah, it's
look what you did, you little jerk.
So you connected with this movie then?
yeah, right. Oh man,
So you've
following people around.
You've been in this character's shoes, basically.
Well, no, not exactly. I didn't have all that shit. I didn't meet up some chick and have some weird like noir. I'm gonna get drunk and then pass out and not know where I'm at type.
Well, after watching this movie, do you wish you did? Do you kind of
Do you think your trip to Target would be better?
deep down?
Indiana, the next noir film. I'd probably end up in like somebody's shed somewhere, chained up. We're gonna have some stew out here tonight. Let's start mixing the pot. So yeah, no, yeah, it was cool. It was a neat. But again, I this is the one movie on the list that I saw the longest time ago, so I don't really remember a whole lot.
Right. So factually,
It looked good for what it was. I mean, for a student film, I thought it looked pretty good.
yeah, it looked good. For a student film, I was rocked by 4:3. That ratio, I haven't gone back and watched anything in that.
Yeah, that's a weird thing too. Kubrick talked about 4:3 a lot, and like when they changed his movies at 4:3, he was like, "Yeah, I don't really care." He said that one time, and everyone's like, "Are you crazy? Like you're Mr. like everything is important."
He didn't care that it was in 4:3. He didn't
when they
care
did the
that things were
chop on
16
the
by
TV,
9.
when they chop it on TV.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's like, "Yeah, pan and scan. I don't really care." That's what I heard. It might have been a false thing I heard because I don't believe like Kubrick.
Right.
It's away from me.
Yeah. So anyway, that's I don't
What'd
know.
you think, Dale?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, it. Looking at my notes, the thing to me, it lost steam. Just how it was put together made me lose interest.
So what you're saying is you need more steam in the movie.
I
Just
need-
steam. Maybe if you put like a little like steam thing underneath the TV.
I put like reverse noir is a trashy thing to do. Slow dialogue doesn't make me interested. That was something too.
Yeah.
It was very student film dialogue.
Yeah.
And
So see, my thing was like, I really like Christopher Nolan. He's one of my probably all up there, all-time favorite directors.
right.
So it was kind of like I watched this movie. He's in, first movie, school. Okay, let's check it out. And sure, it's got some weird points to it.
Right.
But then, like, I think like a 22-year-old kid comes out and was like, "Hey, this is my movie,"
I could, yeah.
and people are like, "Hey, you, that's pretty good. Like, you can have a
Right.
future in this."
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I envisioned
And
from
then
it.
Memento came, and
Yeah.
everybody.
There was a lot of cool things though I noticed too that Nolan had in there. I don't know if it's okay. You have a bunch of these facts in here. Could I read these, Patrick, or do you
Yes,
mind?
please.
Let's see here. The clock that Cobb steals is the same clock in Christopher Nolan's Memento. Also, Cobb is a character in Inception.
Yep.
There's a couple other things too. There's some nods to Batman, which I don't know in 1998 how he could have known the
It
future.
was on the door. I
yeah, it
remember
was on
that.
the door.
Yeah.
So there was a hat tip to Batman, which Dude's playing 40
Maybe
chess,
Nolan's comes from time travel.
Right,
Was that like put in after the fact, like Jurassic? Like
No,
Star
it
Wars?
was in there. It was in there before, which is kind of creepy.
I brought up Star Wars for you, Neil.
Hey.
Set
it up and knock it out.
And I didn't even. Yeah.
But Patrick, there's a couple circles around this. The budget is 6,000, and I don't know what the
Pesos?
Yeah, I don't know
No,
what
it was
the
6,000 USDs. And
okay.
you remember Primer?
Yeah.
That was 7,000.
Ooh.
So this is our new lowest budget film.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to make sure that.
Can
was
we make
mentioned.
one that's $8?
Yeah, I think
we're making that right now.
it's a change jar. So
A 2-hour movie that's $8.
Between my iPhone and a bottle of clam, you're right there.
Well, tell you what. I mean, let's dip into rewatchability. I mean, is there anything else you want to hit on this one? I mean, it's if you're a Christopher Nolan fan, get out there and watch it. I mean, this is his first one, 1998. It's got some redeeming factors. Neil hasn't watched it in a long time, but he remembers exactly how it, makes him feel. So that it actually has lasting effects. But Adam, let's go rewatchability. What are you going to do with this one?
I'm probably not going to rewatch it. It was kind of just like a once kind of through. I wanted to explore it, check it out, see what it's like. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And
Right.
then, it's kind of hard to follow for me at times. So it took a lot of attention to it. And I could see what he was trying to do. And it was like, and then I was like, oh, that's a pretty good movie. But that's about it.
Right.
I don't need any more.
Tom, what about you? You didn't watch this one, but what we're saying, is it going to get you to pop it in, or are you just going to go on right on past this one?
I'm going to keep going. And I think a couple of your comments about slow dialogue, it kind of turns me off. But just in general, yeah, it's a good first film.
Mm-hmm.
I love Christopher Nolan, but I don't need to watch it.
Skip this one.
It's like if you're a true Nolan fan and you want to check something out that he did super long ago,
Add it to your list.
add it to your list. But other than that, it's like
I don't care about being like a true Nolan fan.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you don't need to check that
I don't
box
need to
off.
Yeah.
Right.
impress anybody.
Neil, rewatchability, you going to revisit this one?
Hell
since we've
yeah,
been
I'm going to
talking?
revisit it. Now that we're talking about it, I feel like I need to revisit it. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there. So yeah, I'm gonna revisit it after I get a chance to revisit Mary Sue down the street.
All right, so Patrick, you going to rewatch this one or one and done?
No, I'm definitely going to rewatch this one. I think this would be a good movie to pop on right before you're watching your 8th sitting of Dunkirk. So, I mean, it's short enough to...
How many times have you actually seen Dunkirk now?
I'm sitting on 7 right now.
Oh, jeez. This is Neil.
how many,
Yeah, you know
how
what,
many
yeah, that's-
Dunkirks would you have to watch in a row before you said, okay, I would like to switch
I'm
to
Dunkirk.
following for one film, please, and then I'll go back to Dunkirk.
I have.
How many would it take?
I'll let you know after 10.
Yeah, so it's over 10.
Have you seen Dunkirk in 70 millimeter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. or else I couldn't call you
Downtown?
a true Christopher
Or
Nolan fan.
at the Portage Goodrich, they have it at the...
Oh, they
yeah,
actually.
we saw
but
the
it's-
day it came out.
You should. I don't think they have actual film there. I think they have film in Chicago, like
Yeah,
actual.
I saw it
film
in
print.
Chicago. You can hear the projector
It's-
rolling in the background.
Looks like I'm off to
It's kind of
Chicago
annoying.
after
It's pretty. I mean, I
Can
didn't
you
get
invite
to see
me
it,
this time,
but
please?
I've seen Nolan's movies where they do it.
So anyway, rewatchability after 10, maybe 10 viewings of Dunkirk, you're going to
No, like I said, while I'm waiting for Dunkirk to start, I'll get there 69 minutes early. I'll pop it on my phone, have my headphones in. I'll just wait
And
for
watch
it to
it there.
start. You know, I
Okay.
have 2 movie hot dogs, and I'm good to go.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send it right back to you, Patrick. You got a drink review to this one? Something to compare this one to.
So this movie's like a red wine that hasn't aged quite enough yet. You're taking it out of the barrel and you're sipping. You're like, oh, just a little bit more till it's Dunkirky, and then you just move on. So it's like it's
Just
like
20 years and it's Dunkirk.
yeah, it's about 20 years.
God, I
so.
want to watch Dunkirk so bad.
Neil, we do drink reviews on the show, as you may have heard. Do you have anything, drink aside, anything that you just kind of
I'll try and do drink. I'll try and do it.
All right, what can you compare this style of film or this Nolan film, or what does it mean to you in a drink, if you can describe that?
Probably a smooth but little bit watered down, dark and stormy.
Okay. Any reason why?
Because I just made it up, and that's what I'm going with.
And that'll stick.
And you're gonna just take it and pour it down his throat.
Tom, what about you? You got a drink review for the one you didn't watch yet?
Well, It would have to be something I haven't drank, I guess. Just,
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something.
Trying to think of things you haven't drank.
Yeah.
Molten gold.
If you were to imagine a cocktail and just put stuff in it,
Yeah, maybe like a
take yourself to
some
Tom's
kind
house
of
right now.
Manhattan
Okay.
that is it's got some weird liquors in it. Old
Liqueurs.
I'd say
black and white.
A black and white drink.
a Clan McGregor Manhattan.
Yes,
All
Clan
the-
Manhattan.
that is spot on.
All the old bottles in his liquor cabinet that he doesn't know what they are anymore.
Dumped out together in one jug.
Adam, what about you, man? Walk us down the liquor store aisle.
Yeah. I feel like it's something you go out and try, like you go explore. So like, you go to like a restaurant and they have like a cocktails page. It's like 10 cocktails, and they're all different. This one's got like 3 different types of raspberry Bacardi rum and some like ginger ale or fruit juice or something, Sure. Like, and
This
there's like,
one's made by Christopher Nolan.
yeah. And here's a Christopher Nolan bourbon with like spirits or
Right.
or like the bittersweets
Yeah,
and
the bitters, yeah.
but with a little bit of lemon on top, like
Makes you feel very smart and then very sad.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just kind of a one-time thing. Like you're drinking, you're like, okay, yeah, I'll have a beer, please.
Right.
It just
One and done.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. I got Magnum, which is, of course, I've used this before, but it's a noir film, so it's I keep a Magnum. I keep a Magnum in my pocket. It keeps me loaded. But there's a glass of Magnum in my desk, and it keeps me loaded or whatever it is. But it's got to be Magnum. They're trying to go off that noir thing. But either way, next one up, guys. 2014 film It Follows. Neil actually told me to watch this one. I don't know. It was like a year ago, maybe.
It's been more than a year.
Well, however long it's been on Netflix.
It's probably been since 2014.
Maybe it has. Either way, let's watch a trailer for It Follows, 6.9 IMDb.
I used to daydream about being old enough to go on dates.
I did like the '80s music.
Dude, right out of the gate, I was thinking Turbo Kid music.
Yeah,
Little
yeah.
Stranger Things
That's
action.
a Stranger
Right,
Things,
okay.
yeah.
I'm telling you, that's a genre now.
Some pretty road.
This 80s
Yeah.
horror genre.
80s is long enough gone where it's
become its
now a
own.
movie theme.
Sure.
Now that my birthday was in '88 and I just turned 29, you realize how close we are to people born in the '80s being all 30 years old.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm one of the last ones.
Like
Born-
kids are like 24 that were born in like
Man, I've been
96.
there. I'm 30. I'm 34. I've
Like,
already
that's-
been there.
like that's screwed up.
Somebody gave it to me.
There's people driving who've been born in this century.
Dude,
Right.
that's weird.
You are.
So anyway, the trailer.
Oh, wait, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Straightforward. Yes. You can do is pass it along to someone else.
So,
Is
yeah.
that the Comedy Central logo?
Yes, I think so.
Comedy Central made this movie.
Used a fake name to
Dave
rent
Chappelle was in it.
houses.
This isn't real. I swear to you, this is just some game. If it kills her, it gets me. It goes
FYI,
straight down
it's
the
not
line
just
to wherever
some
you
game.
started.
So they're looking at a creepy house. There's pictures on the wall.
Right, they're driving. It's very creepy.
I'm sorry, I don't know why this isn't full
Something
screen.
happened.
The houses even aren't that creepy.
There's a naked guy on top of a roof.
They're just. I think they're walking around in Gary.
Right.
Well, it's
At least North
Detroit.
Hammond.
It was Detroit.
Oh, okay.
I think it is Detroit. Yeah.
They make an 8 Mile reference.
Someone just flew away.
Someone
I
just
like that.
vanished.
That's the music I like.
The
That's like
Jason
Halloween.
music, yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Halloween. Yeah.
Close to you.
So it's just scary. We're just looking at scary images right now.
Super intense.
People running.
People giving up, people driving in
Oh.
a cornfield.
Yep.
You know, classic Detroit
It
stuff.
follows.
Follows.
There's blood in the pool.
Ooh.
Don't give me
that's
the
gonna
mantle.
happen. That's gonna happen, especially when you have children.
That'll push.
Push.
6.9 IMDb. Tom, did you watch this one?
Nope.
Okay. Neil, you suggested this one to me again. Probably 2014 or whenever it was on Netflix. Horror mystery, but 6.9 on IMDb. Does it deserve that spot?
I think it deserves higher.
Okay.
I saw this movie on a date from like a dating site thing. Like we went out and went, let's go see a movie, and she wasn't really liking the date. And
Wait, in
wasn't-
a theater? You saw us in a theater on a date?
well, we went to eat first, and then we went
Well, I know, but like you saw it in a theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I can tell she doesn't want to see it, but
Where'd you take her?
we're having a bad time already. I'm gonna have a good time.
Wait, set the story up. Where did you go before the movie?
I don't remember. It was like a place near. It was like up north, like an hour away. It was like some Mexican place that I found.
Well, hang on. Before Neil explains his date,
No, I'm not gonna.
a young woman. Here's the description here. A young woman is followed by an unknown supernatural force after a sexual encounter. So I don't know if this was the best first date movie to go with.
That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah. No, I thought it was awesome.
So you thought it was awesome. Now 6.9, good or bad, low, high. Is that right on?
What do you? I just said it above, man. It's
Okay.
up.
You got to be in the 7s. You got to be.
Yeah, 7s are for me. I mean, it's pretty. I think it was a pretty brilliant movie. Using that term, not brilliant like genius or anything, but brilliant meaning like they had all the good tropes that
It was
worked
brilliant.
really well.
It was brilliant. Like
It
a
was
British.
brilliant.
Like a British. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Brilliant.
It was good.
Was this movie
People were
about
dying?
you, Neil?
Yeah, was this?
I can't.
I mean,
A young woman is followed by an unnatural super force
Well,
after a sexual encounter.
that's very.
only
you're
walks.
making me feel good about myself. A little too much here. But.
Well, I can't stop thinking about like, okay, you bring a girl on a date and you bring her to see this movie where it's about if you have sex.
All right, well,
You're like,
let's get off the whole date thing, okay?
You're doomed. This was significantly
gonna be
hurt
here
your
for like
chances
an
of seeing this
hour.
movie.
What was her name, Neil?
I don't remember what her name was. I knew it was done after dinner, and then she still wanted to go to a movie. And it was
This movie was a nail in the coffin, dude.
yeah, I knew it. I'm like, it's over. But I don't care about people, so I will say this: movies, as I've gotten older, I've noticed like the best movies are the ones that are very like storytelling in movies and probably in video games too a little bit since it's so visual and audio is very elemental. There's it's more elemental like than it is storytelling like a book because you can't in storytelling in a book you can explain everything, get it all out in there.
Sure.
And here it's all show and tell.
Okay.
And again I go back to Kubrick, I was thinking of The Shining and the difference between the book and the movie and all that. And the movie's beloved, but it's nothing like the book.
Right.
And the reason why I think it's beloved is because he found it elemental. It's very like much about what you're seeing and what's being fed to you.
Okay.
You
And
know,
then
the senses.
how you deal with that, right?
Yeah, and I thought this movie did a pretty good job with that aspect of
Okay.
it. There was a real tension to it and like a good feel. The 80s, the new the 80s thing that's resurgent and everything with Stranger Things and now this.
Right.
I mean, well, this first. Yeah. So
Good one.
I thought it was really good.
Patrick, what about you, man?
I also really liked it. I thought it was rated low on IMDb. I thought the $1.3 million budget, the 100 minute wheelhouse.
$1.3 million?
Yeah.
That is it?
That's it.
That is all that this movie costs? That is incredible.
Yeah, and I think what did it say? It grossed
a lot more.
Yeah,
Over 20 million?
Over 20 million in the first year it was released, and that it was really good. I thought tension was built really well. I thought the I don't want to call it child acting because they all average like 24 years of age, but it was like young-ish actors that,
Which are hit or miss, we found.
yeah, and I think everyone on this movie list hit except for maybe Greg, who was kind of.
Oh, Greg's just a douchebag.
Anyway, other than Greg, it was pretty good. The movie I thought was on par with other movies of the week.
Okay, cool. Adam, what about you? It Follows. You watch this one?
I did.
What do you think?
And I liked
Are you
it.
a horror guy by default?
No,
okay.
not at all.
I didn't think so. I want to hear what a non-horror guy's opinion is.
But I've been like, this movie hit the right time for me. And let me explain. So,
yeah, please do.
So we've been watching. We watched a lot of movies that were just high action. What are you going to do in this situation? React. Keep going. Go, 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 go. And this movie kind of hit that adrenaline mark, which was good. Like, that's the kind of movies I've been watching. Like, we watched Dunkirk. Adrenaline.
Dude, do you want to talk about Dunkirk? Because I could talk
But
about
then we watched No Escape.
This is not the Dunkirk Explorers
No
podcast.
Escape was high adrenaline.
Sure.
Like,
yeah,
you know
the
what I mean?
whole time.
Yeah.
And then Ark was pretty high adrenaline as well.
You agreed.
And then I'm like, these are movies. Like, I'm kind of drawn to this kind of
Yeah.
like.
There's a drive. There's a drive in this. obviously
Like the movie
sets-
Drive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we could talk about movie Drive. too.
Well, we'll talk
There's
about
no
Ryan
Dunkirk.
Gosling here
We
in a
got
little bit.
Dunkirk, we got Drive, we got all sorts of shit coming out. Okay.
Save your Ryan Gosling
Okay.
man crushes for the third act.
I did think though this movie got a little long in the tooth, like towards the end. It like was like, all right, we get it. We're
Right.
gonna have to take it on. Let's.
No, in my
Let's get
in
to
my
it a little
adrenaline junkie part, I noticed that part. I kind of skimmed a little bit. I was like, come on.
But that first time when you first see the thing and she's in the wheelchair, I'm like, this is fucking terrifying.
Right.
This is awesome. Like it's not terrifying like in a very like existential way where I'm like gonna go home and be like, oh god, what the hell did I do in my life? It's more like terrifying, like fun house terrifying.
And let me explain. Like, I'll explain without giving too much away. I think, but the reason why it's so tension building
You got
is
the mantle queued up.
I'm ready.
okay.
Please continue,
I'm
Adam.
gonna say it, and I'm sorry if I think this is okay. So it always
Okay.
follows.
Well, no, it says supernatural force. So
Yeah,
It
okay,
doesn't
okay.
name it though.
All right,
Okay.
supernatural force keeps following you. The supernatural force is walking consistently.
but
true.
Yes.
It is always walking towards you. No faster, no slower. So that is what's so tension building about it, because it's relentlessly coming for you, but you got to have your wits about you.
Right.
So that's why I really like.
Well,
this
you got to
movie,
sleep at some point. You
Well,
gotta
dude, it's
rest.
just like No Escape, and it's just like Dunkirk, and it's just like everything we've been watching. So like it felt really good.
Yeah, there was tension, but I don't know if I go to
So
Dunkirk.
you're really
Patrick, please.
if it was a Michael Bay film, it would have been it growed wings and it could fly now and go 100 miles an hour. Well, let's get out the Transformers, and they start beating it down, and then there's like and then
I-
there's no blood.
I probably watched that though.
Yeah, I was going to say, when's that coming out?
I'll tell you what, I would watch that too, and then I would dismantle the shit out of it the next week. I would tell it how fucking terrible the Michael Bay bullshit movies are.
Now,
Fast and the Furious.
Just let me watch it before
10
you do that.
meets It
Hold on,
Follows.
hold on.
I'm reading, and you guys mentioned before, this was shot in Michigan, and I assume Detroit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, tomato.
I put him.
I understand how you
Yeah.
made the
So
mistake.
shot in Michigan, but I'm assuming you shot in another
So
state.
that probably helped a lot with the 1.3 million, because if it was shot in California, it'd be
Yeah.
28.
Yeah. 13 million. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I believe it. You got on there, Patrick, like movies as Babadook. How do you get that? How do you get the Babadook comparison? Neil, you've seen Babadook, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I kind of.
I thought it was based on your life. I don't know. Anyway.
I thought Babadook built tension because, just go throughout the movie. That wasn't the one with the death girl, right? That was the one with the
No, that was Death
the bad
Note.
book.
That was the book.
Yeah,
Well,
Babadook.
no,
That
it
was
was
the
like
book.
a story.
By the
No,
way,
I'm thinking of
there was
Hush.
a book in it.
Death Note is on the docket, by the way.
Dude, you don't know how pumped I am for the 25th. Segue.
Neil, you got to come back for the Death Note podcast.
I'll do that.
Tom.
I will.
Nah.
I probably won't watch the movie, so
I'm kidding, of course. But anyway, Patrick, go on with your Babadook comparison.
No, I remember Babadook kind of like building the tension a little bit, and then this one kind of built the tension. But I think if I would have put Hush down, the one where the lady can't hear, I think that would have been a little bit more of a better comparison.
Well, she's deaf.
Yeah, but so she's deaf in that movie, so she can't hear him, and then you have like the supporting characters in this movie; they can't see the actual. So that was that might have been the.
Yeah, that's a comparison. That's a
Yeah, that would be.
As
movie.
I said, elemental.
Indeed.
So good.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. Why don't we? Are we going to dip into rewatchability? Adam, you got anything to add? You like this one though, right? You like the style of it. You like this driving. Even though horror aside, it's just the fact that the plot was always driving.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of horror movies,
Yeah.
and I was. This is probably one of the better horror movies I've seen.
right.
So even from like I kind of struggled through it at times. I had to like go leave the room and just
Yeah,
like
shake it off.
Just
Little-
shake it off.
right.
Like, stop it.
Well, I liked. I mean, I'm going to cut you off here if you don't mind. The
Please do.
Way
I give permission to the.
and I appreciate it. The
Very democratic.
way the unknown supernatural force.
If you're gonna cut the time, you gotta go for it.
What's that?
You cut off my time. You gotta go for it.
Yeah, no, you got to reclaim your time.
Yeah, you gotta know. What you're
reclaim my time.
You gotta know what you're gonna say.
Though I think the way this horror presents itself is different than a lot of other things. You don't see the guy coming out with the knife with the mask on, and it's different than a lot of horror movies are. You know, the monster under the bed, etc. It's different than that.
What I really liked is because that's kind of a horror movie kind of joke or stereotype. Is like, oh, why is the bad guy always just walking? He's never running. You know, they kind of make fun of horror movies that way. And this one was just like, okay, it's still scary.
Yeah,
like,
we took that. Yeah, we took that trope.
Yeah,
and we still made it scary.
Yeah. They even included things like, sex is always like a big thing in horror movies because it's like a vulnerable thing itself.
It kind of embraced horror movie stereotypes and was still scary.
And played with them to make it like feel fresh and not.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So that's it. Rewatchability, Patrick. What about you? Rewatchable.
This is very high rewatchability.
Oh, okay.
Very high. I thought this hit a bunch of the pillars. It was, just bad music. The soundtrack was great. The plot line was pretty good. I thought I would really enjoy this movie the first time, and I'll really enjoy it the second time.
Okay. Neil, what about you, man? Rewatchable anytime, any place, or is this a once a year revisit?
I mean, you guys talk about drinks and stuff. I'm going to try and relate it to the movie here, but if I'm going to talk about rewatchability, I'd take my pants off and let it blow me again. And probably have some lovely...
Well, we just got the explicit mark.
Is this a rated R podcast, by the way? Should I rephrase that?
Well, we're just going to sub your voice and saying, I liked the movie.
No, it's a good movie. It's totally rewatchable, and go check it out.
Okay.
Definitely.
Tom, you didn't watch this one.
Nope.
But what we have been saying...
I think I'm going to check it out.
Are you a horror guy?
No, normally not.
Okay.
I'm not a big horror. And I think... For me, it's just because I don't have any emotions. I'm like watching a horror. I'm like, oh, that was scary. Looking, hey, my girlfriend is right next to me, screaming her
Can we
head
do
off.
like a show with you just watching movies like that where you're like, oh, that was scary?
I assume that would scare someone. That could be scary for someone.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
Nothing recent up to season 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of took a hiatus.
Also be interesting to see your reactions in those.
Yeah, it's not very popular, and a lot of people haven't heard of it.
I don't know. Game of what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, I would definitely watch this. And fall's coming up. It's August right now. It's cooling off.
Yes.
It's cooling off a little early. But I think save this for the fall.
Okay. Put it in that
cozy up to a nice
that October horror season.
Yes.
Adam, rewatchability. Is it worth it?
He already...
Did you do rewatchability?
You cut him off.
Oh.
Not for rewatchability, though, did I?
Oh, maybe. I can't remember.
Just go ahead and...
All right,
start it again.
Anyway, yeah, I rewatched it again.
Okay.
It was okay. It was like, if I'm going to have to watch a horror movie, I watch this one.
Right.
So...
Because, like Tom, you're not normally a horror dude.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a horror guy.
Okay.
I kind of struggled through it, but if I got to struggle through any horror, I guess I struggle through this one.
Right.
Yeah.
Why?
Cuddle with a struggle.
Cuddle.
Don't include that, please.
Cuddle. Neil Murphy.
Wait, Neil, that's what your T-shirt says.
Cuddle.
Cuddle with a struggle.
I don't even understand the reference,
Just
and I don't think I
without
want
my shirt
to.
off. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm on the same boat with Adam. I mean, it was an interesting watch the first time. If you're in the horror place, I guess this one kind of beats out a lot of stuff I would, be offered. But there's a couple other horrors. What's the one that was redone and that was they're not in Antarctica, but they pull is it The Thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't redone. They did like a prequel, which sucked.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the 80s, that's my favorite horror film.
That's
the 80s.
I was going to say, if someone had to say, Adam, you got to watch 3 horror movies, which one is he picking? I'll probably pick Halloween and then The Thing. Kicking into Patrick?
And the third one would probably be Take This Waltz, right?
That is a horror movie. That was horrible.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds funny to me.
It's a horrible movie.
It's a horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
well played. I like it.
Hey.
I just played the joke out of my head. I don't know why, but it was funny. Thank you.
Let's take this one down the liquor store aisle. Neil, can you compare this one to a drink? What do you got?
A lovely Bloody Mary. The drink.
Right.
Drink.
Right.
Yes.
You put a little pool water in it.
Bleach to go along. No, it's a straight up flavor because it's delicious.
Right.
It's delicious.
Fantastic. Patrick, what about you? Bring us down Lick's Aisle, my friend.
So I put Jameson with sweet and sour mix in it. Only because I really like Jameson, but the sweet and sour mix would be what sticks with me the entire time. So as I'm drinking it, it's just a little bit behind me, one swig away.
Hey, that makes sense. Tom, I mean,
Make up another drink.
what would you think a drink would? Yeah, make up another drink.
All right, I'm gonna say it's like a really harsh, like hoppy beer, really strong,
Right.
and it sounds scary, so it kind of like sneaks up on you. You don't realize how strong it is, and bam, you're drunk.
Whammo. It follows.
That's what I'm going with.
The trunk, it follows. Adam, what about you? Bring us down Lick's Aisle.
Man, I don't know. I think I put down vanilla Smirnoff. So I got super drunk one time off eight double shots of vanilla Smirnoff.
Right.
And it was to this day I can't even if I gotta take a shot of vanilla Smirnoff, I'm hold my nose and do it.
Yeah.
It's something that I don't look forward to doing, but if I gotta do it,
You got to do it.
I gotta do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Awesome. So what I got is this is on the same line as Adam again. We got the same mindset for these, man. This is warm gin, which I've had before, and I think
I have a bottle at my house for you of warm gin.
Oh, good.
Sitting there. Well, it's Seagram's, so it's not too bad.
But either way, okay, it's warm Seagram's. How about that?
Yeah.
It's
warm Seagram's in Adam's liquor cabinet. Be very specific.
Exactly. Yes. No, and that's the best kind of warm Seagram's. No, but this is like a warm gin. It's gin's good. So the movie's good overall. You should be ready to have it, but you don't want to drink gin warm. But I mean, if you're handed it, you're gonna drink it. It's kind of like this movie. I'm usually not a horror guy, but if this is on and this is what I have to watch, it's kind of worth it. It's kind of where I'm at. But that, of course, leads us to our last film. It is The Place Beyond the Pines. Is it the Pines or the Pine? The Place Beyond the Pine.
Place beyond
Pines.
Pines.
Pines. There's plural.
I did put an S at the end of it in the notes. Just for the record.
This movie gets much more large when it's behind the pines because it's like a forest. Behind the pines is like a guy.
I didn't know. I thought it was like deer and deers. Like
when
there's
you say
two deers. It's deer.
Beyond, that golf ball's beyond that pine.
Oh.
But when we say it's beyond the pines, it's so much more open and
that
out
makes
there.
sense. That makes so much sense now.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for. Thanks.
Hey, Dale,
you will
got
never make that mistake again.
Thanks for that.
Dale, you got a nice set of hair. Singular. There's hairs on the table. When there's two hairs on the table. Does that make sense? No. Yeah.
Hey, he looks just like you. He's got
Anyway.
the same curly hair.
You know what I found? You know what's a good plural singular thing I found out yesterday?
Sure.
Since we're talking about it,
Vocabulary.
I really want to hear this.
yeah. So
You're gonna have a hell of time editing
panini is plural for sandwiches in Italy. A panino is one sandwich. So what? So they just say a panino. It's just one sandwich that's toasted, ready
So you're
to go.
telling me when somebody says, "Hey, I'm going to go get a panino," and they say panini, they're an asshole.
Yeah, they're getting. Well, I think I'm gonna confront Panera Bread tomorrow. I'll be like,
You're an asshole.
Hey, I'll have the chicken panini. And I'll be like, watch this. And then they roll up with with a sandwich. And I'm like, what is that? That's a chicken panini. That's only one sandwich. That's a panino. I didn't order a chicken panino. I ordered a chicken panini, meaning plural.
Look at my receipt.
I'll let you guys know how that goes. That's gonna be.
Please film it. Please film it.
All right, let's roll the trailer. This is just so you guys get a little mindset. A motorcycle stunt rider turns to robbing banks as a way to provide for his lover and their newborn child, a decision that puts him on a collision course with an ambitious rookie cop navigating a department ruled by a corrupt detective.
Oh,
Thank you. Yes, that you needed that voice. I was like, "Where's the voice?"
I know, I don't have my little voice modulator plugged in. I got to get Steve Blask on the line. Let's roll the trailer.
You know how to hit play? There's a... Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Focus features. So I just start this movie. Julie walks past me and goes, Ryan Gosling and Bradley Cooper. Ooh, I'm like, oh jeez.
Oh, jeez. I think it's what you meant to say.
Yeah, that's what you're right. You're telling me.
Dale's
It's getting hot in here. Is it just Ryan Gosling's tattoos?
I wasn't around my dad. Look the way I turned out.
How are you going to take care of us?
I can't think of another line of work that I'd rather be in.
You're so smart, you can do anything you want. Just don't understand why you're doing this.
I'm a cop, Chad. I'm a cop. Kid, you want to provide for that kid? You got to do that using your skill set. And your skill set? Shit, damn.
He's an Australian
I like that
actor. What else is he in recently? Bloodline. Oh.
I think he was in a Nolan movie too, actually, now I think about it.
Is it Dunkirk?
No. That's the only Nolan movie I care about.
So anyway, he robs a bank. He drives his motorcycle away into the back of a
Dude,
truck.
this song is the shit.
I can give him stuff.
It's a good trailer song.
We're here to search your house.
What for?
We're looking for.
Oh, Ray Liotta, Dynamite. He's great. He's the best.
He's the best.
He's the best dirty cop you'll ever see.
He's the best dirty anything.
This is your problem. This is our problem, and I'm bringing it to your attention because that's what I should do.
I want to do 2 in one day.
I'm not gonna let you bring us both down.
There's a way out of this. You're not gonna like it.
A riveting crime drama. Eva Mendes punches Ryan Gosling at least 40 times. No, that's not written. I just read that.
You almost fooled me.
Hey.
Oh, I know what that actor's from now, the Australian guy.
You know something, Luke?
Rogue One.
Ride like light.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that's
That
true.
guy
He is in Rogue One. Yep.
Like thunder.
He's in a couple
He's
Australian.
also in, he's in other stuff. Too.
Right.
He's really good.
A Place Beyond the
Oh,
Pines.
yes. And he was from a Nolan movie. He was from Dark Knight Rises. He was the guy who got his neck snapped by Bane, who's like, you feel in charge?
It will be painful
For
you.
He doesn't talk anything like
I
that.
wonder what will break first, your back or your spirit.
I just wanted to.
The gamers begin.
I just wanted to be like Eagle Man.
I got something for you.
And then he breaks somebody's neck.
Look at those low rates. All right, guys. 2012.
Low rates for all.
7.3 IMDb. Neil, did you watch this one?
I did. I saw it in theaters.
7.3.
When did that come out?
2012.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
So 7.3.
Is that where it needs to be?
It needs to be a lot lower.
Okay. Where does it need to be? Mid sixes, fives?
I did not like that. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I like the whole Ryan Gosling stuff.
Okay.
The instant that story ended, it started to just make me not interested in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's before I even go to you, Patrick, let's go a little let's kind of tell the audience about this story a little more than the intro does. So there's Ryan Gosling, who's your motorcycle stunt rider, who he has to rob banks to provide for his lover and their newborn child. Okay, so there's like a story that involves Ryan Gosling, and then there's
his trying to. He wants to provide for his child,
lover, and newborn child.
Yes, he wants to be the man. He's a lot of emotion going on with him.
Sure,
and trying to figure out what he's going to do next.
And then there's a whole nother part of the story
with Bradley Cooper,
who is an ambitious rookie cop navigating a department ruled by a corrupt detective.
Yes, he's basically a Scorpio.
Using my own words.
Scorpio.
Whoa. So it's like there's two different sets of stories. So when Neil says
there's three.
Oh, I suppose you're right. Yes, and we won't even go into the third because that's the crux. But no, what Neil says that you like the Ryan Gosling stuff. There's three separate stories going on. There's a Ryan Gosling, there's a Bradley Cooper, and then there's the last one. So, so that's what Neil's talking about. But anyway, I just want to kind of clarify so they're talking about when you say Ryan Gosling stuff, they know. Patrick, what did you think of this one? Any good? What did you like? What did you dislike?
So this movie comes in at 140 minutes, right?
Ooh, yeah, that's a long one.
$15 million budget. But when I look at this movie, I don't look at one movie.
I'm
looking at 3 acts.
Oh,
like it's sort of like a play.
Preach.
So you have the first act, and you have Ryan Gosling. You have the second act, you have
Bradley Cooper,
B. Coops, and then you have the
you
third
guys
act.
You see that? B. Coops, he's feeling it. He's feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're in the zone.
Yeah.
And then the third act, you have the resolution of what the first and the second act are. So it's really like a full-fledged out character development. Their choices lead to this, and then this choice leads to that. So I really like the storytelling of this movie. I really like the I don't want to call it character development. The way that everybody interacts with everybody and how we get to where the end of it. So when you look at like intersecting stories, I always think of Crash, and we all have like a million plot lines. And they all lead to one spot.
They all crash into each other.
Oh my god, I never thought of it that way.
But moving on.
Yeah, so you have Act 1, you Act 2, and then Act 3 is like, the resolution of everything. And just the way everything is resolved at the end, I think it's well done. I disagree with its 7.3. I think it should be at least a 7.8. I think it should be in the top 250 IMDb just because of the development, filmography, soundtrack. All of it was just top-notch for me, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
Tom, do you watch this one?
I did.
Okay.
Whoa, hey,
we got a winner here. What do you think about this one, Tom? IMDb 7.3. Is it there for you?
So I kind of disagree a little bit with Neil as far as the first act. The first act, you get into Ryan Gosling's, and I thought the beginning of that was kind of slow, and I don't know if you agree with this. I was like watching this white trash piece of shit kind of. It's like get his life together. I'm like, this is like depressing and kind of like I'm not really. And then until I think I can say this because it's like the first sentence until he starts robbing banks. Then I'm like, oh, this is getting exciting.
Right.
And then I started getting drawn into it. And then from then I was really drawn to this whole movie. I would say I'd put this up into the 8.0 range. Yeah, okay. I liked it a lot.
Cool.
And my initial reaction right after the movie was. I wasn't crazy about it, but then thinking back how sucked in I was, like kind of past the point of
for 140 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was really sucked me in. I got my attention. And I liked it a lot.
Okay, cool. Adam, what about you, man?
I did not watch this one.
Wow! I got nothing.
Well, we gotta. Why don't we we gotta have a button for when someone doesn't watch the movie. Like that's okay. I'll accept that. Don't
for now. Tase me, bro. No, that's not going.
Definitely not for me.
No,
we will tase you.
No, I did not watch it. I'm bummed though because I really wanted to. That's why I put it on the docket of this movie.
Right.
Like I hear good things about it. So, and listening to Tom and listening to Patrick, it sounds like it was pretty solid.
I mean, looking at it from afar as you assign the docket, you got a Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, Eva Mendes, Ray Liotta. The Australian guy from movies that we've all seen.
Exactly.
Who does a pretty good American accent.
Ben Mendelsohn.
That's his name? He was in a couple of Australian films where he was a dog walker for some of it. I can't remember what it's about. It's
This is actually just a dream Dale had.
No, look it up. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Like, if I only knew a podcast I could listen to tell me what was on Netflix.
I picked up your dog shit, mate.
Yeah.
Is that what he
said? I can understand how you would have picked this one for the docket, but you didn't end up watching it.
I know, sad.
But what we're talking about,
140 minutes, dude.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Way out of the wheelhouse. It was definitely worth all of it.
What we're talking about? You think you're going to boot this one up?
I think so.
Okay, I'm
interested to hear more about what Neil has to say. Because he's the only one that kind of is not a big fan of the other two. Like, and what did you think about it? I don't know what you thought about it.
No, I'm with Tom. I like the beginning, like the first act. Once it got to the Bradley Cooper side of the story.
No, I did not.
No, that's me.
I didn't like.
You're with me.
Act.
Oh, okay. It fell off. The movie fell off for me, and I'm not going to go any deeper or tell you why it did. But the story got I just lost interest in the story as it progressed, so the end of it failed me. The last half failed me.
I had the complete opposite reaction. Beginning, I was like, I don't care about this guy.
As the story went on, you liked it?
If he falls off a bridge or anything.
Which he... Okay. Well, anyways.
No.
But,
no, don't hit it.
No.
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 You got it.
Oh my god!
But no, I had the complete opposite reaction. Then you got
I didn't spoil any of the movies you didn't see. So
once we had people more. I felt like the cop. He's involved. He was kind of a schemy guy. I mean, he definitely had his Bradley Cooper had his like, oh, I've got my agenda.
Sure,
I know what I'm doing, and you kind of.
I don't think that's.
You're kind of rooting for him. You're kind of not. I guess more not. But
it's good. It's good when our characters, I feel, are not perfect and they're kind of shitty in some ways. Like there's usually at least something about them that we don't like. So my issue wasn't with that. My issue was, and I'm going to go back to the 3-act structure we were talking about here, is that with having different storylines converge, but in that type of way, the 3-act structure doesn't really get a chance to breathe because you have a beginning, a middle, and end, but the beginning, middle, and end start with the person. So do you have 3 movies inside of it that are beginning, middle, end, beginning, middle, end, beginning, middle, end?
Right.
Or do you have an actual beginning, middle, end? And you kind of do, from what I remember, but it didn't really gel very well. And I guess a lot of it was that when you kept kind of clipping into somebody else's story, you kind of were left with like an empty feeling of, well, what happened to the other story? And they kind of, they come back to it. It definitely all comes back to itself. And again, I'm talking from when I saw this 5 years ago. I might have a very different response to this movie now.
Sure.
5-10 years, they told us in school, like, you go watch a movie. If you really didn't like a movie, go watch it 10 years later. You might have a very different reaction. And I feel like that might be the case here. Because I was very excited about it when it came out, but I just thought it was very disjointed in its storytelling, in that it had a lot of great actors, good writing, and I just wasn't really caring too much about. Like I said, it started off really good because it was a guy who's like kind of a dick, but he's also like trying to do. He eventually starts to try to do something. And I'm like, all right, and then they cut that off, and you're like, all right, so what am I going to follow with this guy? I got to start all over again.
Sure.
Can you explain the 3-chapter structure a little bit without getting too much into it?
Oh, I can break
here,
that down.
I'll use the synopsis we have right here.
All right, someone give me the breakdown.
Okay, a motorcycle stunt rider turns to robbing banks as a way to provide for his lover and their newborn child.
I got that. I got Gosling he's the guy.
We
trying
probably
to do
shouldn't
something.
tell you the third part.
No, we will not. That's the first part.
Okay.
The second,
you know the first 2 parts.
Yeah,
so basically, you got a story about Bradley Cooper, and you got a story about Ryan Gosling,
and their stories
crash.
They crash.
They come together at the end.
Yes,
Okay.
Sort of. Yeah.
more of a crash.
Okay, so when you say 3 chapters, it's like there's no like Ryan Gosling back to Cooper, Ryan Gosling back to Cooper, Gosling. It's Gosling.
If it was like that, I could never watch it. It'd be too crazy for me.
See, now there, I think
Cooper.
that might, yeah. Something.
Gosling Cooper.
Cooper.
No.
God.
No, so that's like what the structure is. So it's got a Gosling side. You know what it. You know.
And everybody out there, just know again. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen 5 years, and a lot of people do like it. So I'm gonna probably give it another chance.
I'm just saying, it started off. We got robbing banks, we got motorcycles, and then it went do 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 and just slowed. It was just like, hope that old man got the tractor beam out of alignment, or this is going to be a real short trip. That's how the movie went for me. I mean, let's go to rewatchability. Does everybody put their opinions in, or is there what? Let's go to rewatchability then. Adam, you didn't watch it. What we're saying, you gonna watch it?
It sounds interesting.
Okay.
I like that. I love when movies have different structure. Let's just like
And this one is a little different as far as story structure. I haven't seen one like this.
I'd say it seamlessly transfers from act to act. So, but it's very abruptly transferring.
It's changing,
but it's the way it happens is very smooth.
Right. As someone who enjoys movies, I love it when like that is changed up in any way.
Sure,
you know what I mean. So that's why I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to check it out because I like how that setup sounds.
So you got rewatchability there, or watchability, I guess. Tom, rewatchable? Not rewatchable.
I like the movie a lot, but it's not huge rewatchable for me.
Okay.
I think once is enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know the ending. I know how everything turns out. There's not a huge. Once I know that, it's not a huge.
The thrill of watching is gone.
Yeah.
Neil, you haven't seen this one since 2012. Is it? You think you're going to pop it in soon? Does it ignite your?
Well, listening to Patrick talk about it and just how much he likes it. I want to give it another shot.
Okay.
I know that because I was very excited about it. And there's movies that I get excited about, and then I don't like them, and then I watch them a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later, and I do have a different reaction to them.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is, I wouldn't call it beloved by people, but it's loved by a lot of people. And I'll give it. I'll probably pop it up on the screen maybe next week sometime.
Okay. Did you watch this one after going on a date or no? Was this just like a single viewing? What was her name?
No, I didn't. I was going to come up with something kind of funny, but my creative juice is going.
It sounds like, if anything, the first third is solid.
Yeah.
Well, you got different variants.
Yeah, no, but the first third isn't anything without the rest of the movie, though. It means nothing. I mean, it's just a simple story.
Why don't you watch the movies we set out to watch?
Patrick, rewatchability with the second round.
Yeah, the first time I watched this, I think Redbox was at like $60 a share, so it was a while ago. Now I watched it yesterday, and it was still pretty good. And I think
Redbox got up to $60 a share.
Is that how you always judge time?
Yes,
based
by the
on
stock market.
of.
Is there a different way?
Right. How else do you judge time?
What was the stock of Microsoft when we started podcasting?
No, it's only stock of Redbox.
What was the stock of Redbox when we started podcasting?
Time started
stock
in
now?
2011. So
What's their stock now?
$260 a share.
not even close.
What is it?
It's got to be like $3.
Are they bankrupt?
Who the hell is using
Are they even?
Redbox?
They probably got bought up by
I thought
Amazon.
you were talking
They're probably up in the Amazon drones.
Or,
Clouds.
Bitcoin.
I got really nervous. I
Dude,
got really
Bitcoin's
quiet.
that's what you gotta be.
Anyway,
I
circling
almost
back.
got into Bitcoin.
Dude, should have now.
Yeah.
I almost did it 4 years
If
ago.
you bought $100 in 2011, you'd be like you'd have $3.8 million or something now.
Is that true, Mr. Dvorak?
Yes. Did you listen to that podcast?
I did listen to it.
Dvorak.
I wish I had done it because it was like 4 or 5 years ago. I was going to do it.
I'm so glad we're making that no agenda segue, because I know they wanted to sponsor this episode, but for some reason
We just wanted to give a shout out to Adam Curry and John C. Dvorak at the No Agenda Show and say in the morning to those guys. So.
in the morning.
Nice. So anyway, Patrick, rewatchable.
For sure. Definitely. Rewatch it. Maybe twice. Maybe 3 times.
That good.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to agree with you. I think this one's one and done. Didn't like how it finished up. Didn't like it halfway through. I mean,
how do I unplug this? I need to go.
Yeah. Get out of here.
Here's your mic.
Take your mic. Wait, that's my mic. Give me that back. No, I just don't. It didn't finish up well for me, so I'm done. That's it. No dice. But drink reviews, we cannot leave without a drink review. Patrick, what about that? Do you got a drink written down?
So I got a snake bite. Guinness on top, cider on bottom. About halfway through, it totally changes it up. And you're like, whoa.
Did you ever have a snake bite where they draw an S on top?
No, where do they do that?
In Australia, they do that.
Shit.
I always wondered. I never had a.
That's really shouting out to Aussies today, huh?
I never had a snake bite.
Oh, we can't remember that one actor's name, so we have to.
Ben Mendelsohn. I just said it. Okay. Ben Middleton. Ben Medelosia.
Yeah, but I never had an American snake bite. That's why I was asking.
Well, I've had them in Chicago, and they pour them with a spoon, and I'm like, oh, come on, just give me it. Stop pouring it. Just give me it. And then when I get it, it's like I said, Guinness on top, and then they usually have like pear cider or some goofy cider on bottom. And once you finish the Guinness, you're like, whoa, this movie isn't about Ryan Gosling anymore.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Well, okay.
Easy. Tom's wearing the mantle right now, but he can swap it right over.
All right, how good is this movie, guys? I'm going to get the question. Should I watch Beyond the Pines, A Place Beyond the Pines, or go slam Snake Bites with Patrick?
I'd slam him.
Yeah, let's
Why
do
don't you do both at the same time?
Neil, do you got a drink review you can, or just anything you can compare this one to?
Starts off. Now, this is based on, again, when I saw it.
Sure.
Not now. I don't know. But starts off with a nice glass red wine, and then you got somebody keep slipping you Coors Light till you pass out and wonder what happened to your life.
Okay.
Where the hell am I?
Wow. All right.
Mom!
That'll work. Tom, what about you, man?
I'm opposite. You're starting off with Paps.
Okay.
White trash, like just blah.
Yeah.
And
very Ryan Gosling-y.
Yeah. And then you get into Bradley Cooper. and you're doing, and it's a little more sophisticated. You're drinking a scotch,
right?
I don't know.
Single malt.
Yeah.
Oh, you're actively changing. Oh, I like this.
Yeah,
I like where this is going.
This is not a drink review. This is the night of the drinks you drink that night review.
And then
this is a drink.
Then
you're doing ecstasy, amyl.
This is a drinking tactic.
And then at the end, I'm gonna say you're taking a shot of nothing great. Just like shot of vodka.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What do you got, Patrick?
And then do you segue out of there on a Matthew McConaughey Lincoln?
Right. No, you drink Wild Turkey. Dude, he's a wild... Isn't he Wild Turkey?
He's Wild Turkey.
Oh, what a guy.
Dude. I kind of...
He's
like...
why?
I don't just...
I got
just
a dog
like
that's
him
fine.
as...
My dog don't
Have
bite.
you guys seen True Detective?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you seen that one scene that's like... Or that one shot that's like 12 minutes long? One shot?
I watched the show twice, yeah. No, I missed it. Missed it both times. I just 12 minutes.
Well, it's not on Netflix, so I don't know if
Dude,
you didn't watch
McConaughey,
it.
I don't just like him as an actor. Like, I like his person. I
love
like him as...
him.
I like
I
him
love
as
him as a man.
I love him as a man. Like,
well, we got a surprise for you, man. Hey, come on in.
All right.
Hey!
Oh, that's too much.
I saw a video one time of McConaughey hanging out with Drew Brees and Kenny Chesney, and I was like, dude,
what a bro.
That's a trio, man. I wish I was hanging out with those guys right now. It was so bad.
Oh,
no offense. No, I love podcasts with you.
No, I know. Hey, man. If we get him on the podcast, in fact, Matthew McConaughey, we know you're a listener. If you would like to, we will pay for every Wild Turkey drink you have here, and we would love to have you on the podcast. Just an invite.
Hell, he can probably bring it for free.
You know what? In fact, bring your own. BYOB. Here at the podcast.
The PYBOB.
Right.
What's that be? It's a typo.
Yeah. These are Patrick's notes. I don't know. Pine. I don't know. Who knows? Either way, guys, that's it. I mean, I'm going to do what was my drink review? This is slowly drank scotch. So you pour, you put some ice in there, you throw some scotch on there. Good. It's scotch. I like it. You let the glass sit there. The ice starts to melt. You start sipping. You're like, man, it's starting to get watered down. You let it sit there a little more, and then the ice water overtakes the actual drink, and then you're sipping watery scotch. It's just not very good. Doesn't finish well. You wish it would have ended by now. I don't know. It just doesn't finish up well. So it's a watered down scotch by the end. So we're all doing progressive drinks here. And how many times have I used watered-down scotch? Maybe 4 or 5 times?
Well, I just don't agree with you getting the final word on Place Behind the Pines is watered-down scotch. I think it should be a snake bite with Adam Peller. I think that'd be much better than...
I would rather do that. I would rather do that than...
Well, that's what we're comparing the movie to, so I'm glad you agree.
Oh, okay, of course.
Perfect.
Right. But anyway, that's it, guys. That's, that's it. That's Place Beyond the Pines, 2012 film. Neil,
get the hell out of here! I don't know what the hell. What the hell are you looking at me like I need to?
No, I'm just happy to have you on the podcast.
I'm happy to be here.
It's great to see you.
It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody here.
Glad to have you back on from the popular Star Wars episode. Tom, welcome back. Always a pleasure having you. Good seeing you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
I'm with Neil here. Now it's a rated R podcast.
Right.
Yeah. I always bring the rated R.
Right. Well, hey, that's all right. Sometimes we get explicit. That's just how we got to talk about movies. That's how we explore. Adam, it's great to see you, brother.
Yeah, man. Great to see you. Everything's good. So, you said that movie's like drinking scotch slow. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's a movie like drinking scotch fast? Like you come home from work and you're just like, screw it. And you just have a full glass and you're done.
Just give it a listen, bro. Top Gun.
For a second, I thought this song was like Phil Collins. Like In the Night or whatever, or Can You Feel It?
I can hear it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, interesting choice, Dale.
I thought this was Sail by AWOL Nation. Patrick, thanks a lot for being on the podcast, brother. Great notes, as usual.
Yeah. I just love sailing along with you.
Oh, you little guy. Anyway, guys, we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/TheNetflixExplorers. We're on iTunes. Download the podcast, subscribe, give us a rating. Always 5 stars, please. That helps us get seen, helps people listen in. We're on Twitter at TheNetX, the NETEX, and then 1890studios.com. That's the 1890studios.com. We got polls up there. We need to get your opinion on some polls. We're having some struggles. We need to hear your voice. So head over to 1890studios.com and check that out. Give us a listen. That's it for us, guys. We will see you next time. We're the Netflix Explorers.
The moonshine, teardrop in my eye, country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home down country road.
So wait, is that what we're going to do now? We're just going to record an album instead?